In 2020, I asked my TikTok followers the following question. Have you ever had a glitch in the Matrix? Thinking I'd just get a handful of cool stories, but it kind of went semi-viral and I got way more than I expected. Here's just a few of the cool stories.
Have you ever had a glitch in the Matrix?
So I definitely had a glitch in the Matrix, and no one ever believes me, and I told the story to many people and they look at me like, okay. But what happened was I woke up one day and I just lived my life, and I lived all the way up until the part I started having kids, and I had a boy and a girl, and I woke up, I went to sleep again, and I woke up and I was like 10 again. I went right back to being 10, and I woke up and I was tripping, and my sister came up to me and I gave her a big hug. I swear to God, like, I can't make this up. I knew my sister was going to pass away, and I knew I was going to have at least a boy and a girl, and I missed my kids so much at the age of 10. Like, I was like, for 2 weeks, just like stuck, like, to the point I was like, all right, whatever. And I just kept living my life, and here I am now. But I swear, I can't make this up, I literally went to sleep an adult and woke up like 10 again with my mom.
Okay, I have one. I've only told this to a few people. So one time last year, I left my work to go pick up my son from daycare. I went down this road called Sunset because it's the only road that you can enter or leave my work. So I pick up my son and I drop him off at my mom's work, which ironically is right off of Sunset. So I drop him off and I'm on the street getting ready to turn back onto Sunset, and then I get like this weird eerie feeling. And I see this vehicle that's going south on Sunset, and I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, that car kind of looks like my car. So, and I was looking, and I look at who's driving, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck, like, that looks like me. So I'm like spooked out, but I'm like, oh my God, I gotta follow this car. So I sped up to turn right to follow the car, and then the car was gone, like gone. There was no way it could have like turned onto the main road because I was literally like 3 seconds behind it. So there's a tennis court to the right, and then there's 2 streets to the left. I go down both those streets and I'm like hauling ass trying to find this car. I even looked like to see if it parked anywhere, and I couldn't find it. I am convinced to this day that I saw my past self 10 minutes prior that had just left to pick up my...
So when I was about 19 or 20, I was with my ex at the time. He was driving, he had a pickup truck. I was in the passenger seat, and we're fine mid-afternoon on a weekend. We go through an intersection and I hear this loud blaring horn. I look over and there's a semi-truck, headlights directly at us, about to hit us. And I like didn't scream or anything, but next thing I know, we're driving like nothing happened. I'm shaking, I'm sweating, and my heart is racing. And I'm like out of breath. My ex was like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you okay? And I was like, you didn't just see that semi about to hit us? And he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. There was no truck. I don't know to this day what that was, but it still freaks me out. It keeps me up at night because I know what I saw, and I don't have any answers.
What is a glitch in the Matrix? With Elaine Cheney.
Now, in the movie The Matrix, it was basically a simulated reality that was created by machines, and that movie is based on the simulation theory. Now, the simulation theory, in a nutshell, is stating that an advanced civilization decides to create a virtual civilization with their own thoughts, and at some point, that civilization decides to create their own virtual civilization, and on and on. And as that happens, the possibility that we're in a real world versus a simulation gets smaller and smaller. It sounds absolutely bonkers and unbelievable, but when you listen to Neil deGrasse's explanation, you're kind of like, well, maybe.
Just start with a real universe, and then you get bored, and then you say, I'm going to program, you have computing power, you program a universe in your computer and give the life forms in there the belief that they have free will. Then those life forms create a universe within their computer, allowing their life forms to think they have free will. And it's computers all the way down. Now you close your eyes and throw a dart. Which of all of these universes are you most likely to hit? Because only one of them is real, and all the rest are simulations. Just the statistics of that tell us we are probably in a simulation.
Now that that's covered, we come back to the question, what is a glitch in the Matrix? This is when something goes wrong with the gaming program. You know how you play video games and all of a sudden your character ends up, somewhere else entirely, or keeps making the same movements? And if you think about it, if we're in a simulated reality, if we are a kind of video game, glitches are definitely possible and could explain some of the experiences that were weird or improbable or something that you couldn't quite explain. And speaking of weird and improbable, if you're like me and into paranormal topics like glitches in the Matrix, UFOs, hauntings, mysterious disappearances, etc., etc., make sure to join me here every week as I deep dive strange topics you've always wanted to know about. Subscribe, hit the notifications button. Now back to glitches in the Matrix. I've experienced a handful of incidents that would fall under a glitch.
The key glitch.
I tend to lose my keys a lot. So in order to prevent me from losing my keys, I get a smaller purse. So that way, if I put my keys in there, I find it immediately. I'm not like digging around for it. So anyways, lo and behold, I lose my keys. So I'm like, okay, well, the purse is easy. I could just go through it. And it's about this small. And I looked through it, nothing. I looked everywhere, nothing. In my car, nothing. I actually had to go to the dealership and make 2 more copies. Well, I went on a long road trip to pick up my dog. And in this long road trip, on the way back, I was trying to find my lip gloss. And I was driving and kind of stuck my hand in my purse to dry my lip gloss on top of my purse. As I unzipped the purse and I reached over, right on top, my keys. My keys that I had been looking for. Now, mind you, it wasn't just a key. As with everybody, you've got like keychains. It was huge. There is no way that I would have missed this being in my purse. And so stories like this, if you Google glitch in the Matrix, you'll find a ton of unexplainable stories that will definitely make you question if we are really in the Matrix. And glitch in the Matrix stories range from slightly weird, like my key story, to
Part 2 of the
completely
glitch.
unbelievable.
So Brenda and I are silently communicating, how do we get out of here? Something is telling me don't rush it. Like, play it cool. We can't run. The guy's gonna block the exit. We won't make it. This is obvious. The next memory I have, we are both sitting in my car. I'm driving at a red light and we're like 5 miles away. And I look over at her and she looks stunned. And I'm like, how did we get out of the house? We don't know. We have no idea how we got out of this house. So we kind of like tried to chalk it up to like, I don't know, like a traumatic experience, and maybe we just blocked it out. And it's later, like time had significantly passed and I don't know what happened. But to make this even crazier, so a couple weeks later, we are driving down that road to go to the bar to meet up with some friends. And we drive past where the house was. The house isn't there. Remember how I told you that the driveway was freaking huge and it would fit all these cars? No, there is literally no space between the house on the left and the laundromat for a house to have ever existed. So I don't know where we went. I don't know what happened.
Scrolling TikTok before bed, so I obviously come across this video. When I was like 13 or 14, my mom was cooking something in the kitchen, and this is like when coconut oil became like a huge deal or whatever. You remember those days. So my mom's cooking, and she goes to get the coconut oil out of the cabinet, and we're just talking, you know, we're just hanging out because she's cooking and I'm in the kitchen, you know, whatever. She goes to open the coconut oil, and like her entire hand just starts gushing blood. You know, her hand that she's opening like the oil with, it's bleeding. So she goes to cup it and she's like, ah! She's like, what the f? Puts it underwater. I'm like freaking the hell out. It's like a ton of blood. Rinses it off. No cuts, not bleeding, completely fine. Blood all over the floor, everywhere. No wound. And we never talked about it again. But I still think about it all the time.
Okay, so I have to talk really fast to get this out, but I was in the Navy, and this just reminds me, like, it gives me Philadelphia Experiment vibes, which is, it's just creepy, but so in 2015 we were on a deployment. I was on a guided missile cruiser, and we either would have been at sea in the Persian Gulf or the Indian Ocean when this happened. But for some background, so the way that berthings work, or where we sleep, is they're stacked 3 high bunk-style beds, and on each of them is a metal placeholder where it contains a name tag that has your rank and name in. So I'm standing in berthing talking with one of my female shipmates one day. We're just kind of leaning against the racks, and we look down and we notice my name tag that has my name and rank on it is on the floor. So we pick it back up and we go to put it back in my placeholder, but the placeholder is gone. And these things are screwed into metal racks, so there's screw holes. But it's just, there's just no remnants of it being there. Like the holes from where it fell off are not there. And a few seconds later, something pops like out of the corner of our eye, and we both turn and look, and there's my name tag holder screwed back into my rack with the name tag in it, but I'm still holding a name tag in my hand that I found on the floor.
So now that you know what a glitch in a matrix is, have you ever experienced a glitch in a matrix? Something in your life that was kind of odd or strange that you couldn't quite explain? If you do, I would love to hear your story. Comment below, share with me your story, or tell me what you think. Do you think this is actually happening? Do you think we're in a simulation? How do you explain other people's experiences? Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for more strange and weird. Bye!